What is up, everybody? Bootman here, and we're back with another Marvel Snap video. And today I wanted to talk about this amazing She-Hulk deck, which might actually be the best She-Hulk deck out there. But I wanted to break it down and discuss something I've been thinking about a lot since playing with it, and it's will it work and can it get you to Infinite in this next season? Because I've been thinking about it and people might start countering it pretty soon. But before we dive into that, if you are new here, first of all, welcome, but make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell because if you love Marvel Snap as much as I do, you definitely don't want to miss any upcoming videos. I love breaking down decks, new cards, doing gameplay, and just talking all things Marvel Snap, so make sure that you are subscribed, all right? Cool. So yeah, if any of you were here yesterday, I made a video breaking down this deck, which was inspired by Jeff Hoogland. I made some tweaks. His deck, I believe, used Wave, or a lot of people are using Wave and making it similar to like a Death Wave deck, right? I don't have Wave, so I did this alteration. And yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot because I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna work going to Infinite in the new season because I've been on a hot streak. So some of you know I made it to Infinite. And since being on Infinite, I've just been kind of goofing off because I learned that once you hit Infinite, you cannot drop below Infinite. So I've been testing out new decks, playing around, testing out new cards and everything like that. And then with this deck, I've climbed back up to 105 in like the last 24 hours since I got She-Hulk without even trying. I've just been going through the motions and I'm like, whoa, right? But I have some theories as to why it's working, and I want to discuss that because if you are using this deck or planning on using this deck, something to take into consideration as we go into this new season, because at the start of every new season, in case you didn't know, it bumps you down 30 ranks, all right? So if you're at Infinite, you're gonna be going down to 70. If you're at 60, you'll be going down to 30, and so on and so forth. All right, so let's discuss the deck just a little bit, all right? So this deck, to work in its optimal way, you need certain cards in a certain order, all right? In the best case scenario, here's what's gonna go down. You're gonna drop Moon Girl on turn 4, but you have your She-Hulk as close to the left of your hand as possible because Moon Girl starts left to right, duplicating your deck, all right? So you're gonna wanna make sure that you're duplicating She-Hulk. Next up, we have Magic. Our girl here, who did phenomenally for me in my deck that got me to Infinite, she makes it so instead of a 6-turn game, you get a 7-turn game. So, not only have you duplicated She-Hulk, but by now, our man Infinaut has landed in your hands as well, okay? And then what happens is you're gonna skip turn 6. Now on turn 7, if everything goes to plan, you're gonna be dropping 40 power on that last turn across the board. And there's so many different variations. Because when you skip turn 6, since She-Hulk costs 1 less for every unspent energy, she's gonna be a 0-cost card. So if you were able to duplicate her, you're gonna have 2 0-cost She-Hulks along with an Infinaut. So what I've been thinking about a lot lately is that a lot of people just assume that you're dropping Infinaut. And I can't tell you how many games I've had where people just snap me because they're so confident in their mind that all I have going on for me is an Infinaut, but that's not the case. Because I can, not only can I drop like an Infinaut and She-Hulk, but I can drop an Infinaut over here, 2 She-Hulks on 1 lane, right? I can do an Infinaut over here, a She-Hulk with the Infinaut for 30 power in 1 lane. I could, do 2 She-Hulks and Infinaut. I could do She-Hulk, She-Hulk, Infinaut. I have so many combinations and they don't suspect that at all. So what I'm getting at is it's only so long that this is gonna last and people are gonna start recognizing what's going on and they're no longer just only going to expect that Infinaut. Now, real quick, I don't know what the counters are gonna be. If you have any ideas, lay them down in the comments below because I believe that we need to start thinking of counters to our deck so we can optimize them in the best way because I'm really into like the strategy of this game and games in general. I used to be like in pro esports for Counter-Strike back in the day, and it's just really interesting to me. But anyways, something that we have in our deck, aside from, 1-drops and everything like that, is we have armor, okay? So armor helps block you from Shang-Chi, okay? But also, I've seen a lot of people, playing a lot of Cosmo lately or Enchantress, but fortunately, with She-Hulk and Infinaut, there's nothing those cards do because they're just straight up power, right? Now they could, hypothetically block a Moon Girl or a Magic, but I haven't really run into that much lately. So those are the only counters that I can really think of. All right. So let me know down in the comments. But, anyways, I'm going to try to play a few games, see if we can make these scenarios pop up so you can see what I mean and how people aren't really suspecting what happened. Full transparency, I already recorded this video. The audio sucked. So let's hop into a few games. If they don't work, you're gonna see an edit, and then I'm just gonna voice over my last games that I played and recorded. All right, let's do this. All right, everybody, Future Chris is back again. None of those games worked out, so I'm just gonna do a voiceover of the previous recordings because there was two matches where it really shined and really showed what I'm talking about, how this deck works. They're suspecting Infinaut, they snap on me. So I'll do some voiceover, I'll talk through a little bit of my thought process, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, so this first game got Sunspot really good, and there's an icebox there. Icebox is a location that can really screw us over. Icebox and Iceman, because if that Icebox or Iceman, if that hits Magic or Moon Girl, the whole strategy goes to crap because you got to play Moon Girl on 4, you got to play Magic on 5. So in this one, we lucked out and it hit the armor. And I believe what I was doing here, I was skipping the turn because, yeah, with Viper, I don't want to waste her. Usually what I'll do is if I have a Hood, I'll drop like a Hood, then a Viper, send over the -2 power over to them. So when you skip a turn, it's no biggie. But here we go. Here we go. Here's the Hood Viper combo. And it looks, I can't remember, they might be running a ongoing deck with like Spectrum or something like that. But typically, yeah, that's what we've been seeing a lot lately. When they armor up or they're doing their wonderful little destroyer, but I think this might be Spectrum. So we send over Hood. So now in a much better situation. We're still missing Moon Girl and we're missing She-Hulk. All right. So the Moon Girl duplicating She-Hulk, that obviously isn't happening. But I believe we get She-Hulk on this next turn after we Magic. So yeah, they're definitely doing some kind of like Spectrum ongoing. Punisher, amazing card, by the way. Amazing card. Somebody recommended it a little bit ago, and I was like, I don't know. Because he was like, what is he, like a pool 1? And I didn't really use him that much. But yeah, like I definitely see his value. Especially since you're like skipping turns and stuff like that. Like you have a card that could just kind of come out and get buffed real quick. Yep, there's the Cosmo. Cosmo does not affect She-Hulk or Infinaut. So if he was able to drop in the middle, would have screwed up our Magic. Oh yeah, here. So here we're gambling. We are purely gambling to see if we can get She-Hulk on the next turn. Yep, there's the Spectrum. Since we skipped, our Sunspot gets buffed up. So yeah, here comes She-Hulk out of here. 0 cost, and we have an Infinaut, okay? So we're sitting here looking at this, and let's see how I play this. I snap, and they snap back. They snap back because they're assuming that we can only drop Infinaut. They're like, okay, I'm leading 2 lanes. There's no way this guy is going to win with an Infinaut. So I don't know if they think that like you're stupid or what, and you just can't count, and you think like Infinaut's going to like spread, spread his power across or anything like that. But yeah, this is what I'm saying. People don't expect it right now. They're thinking that all you have is an Infinaut, so it's working. So yeah, he drops a claw because he assumes that if we drop Infinaut left, because we're gonna win middle or something like that, right? And it doesn't work out because we're able to spread that across the board. All right, jumping into the next one. Skip the first turn, got another ice box for some freaking reason. And we lucked out again because it hit our buddy Ant-Man. So we don't really got to worry, but we got Magic already. No sign of Moon Girl. Oh, right here. Yeah, I've been checking the profiles and what I was talking about. If you're familiar with the streamer Binks, Binks made a little short video discussing how, like, with these new cards in play, like Thanos or I think even like Agatha, you could check, and if their deck size is a certain size, that's a tell of what they're playing with. I'm debating on how much that information does, by the way. Maybe I'll do a video on that sometime, so make sure you subscribe. But even if I know they're playing a Thanos deck, like I probably would have known on the first turn anyways, because they're going to be dropping stones left and right. So Onslaught Citadel, and it looks like another sort of ongoing deck, or I believe they play Destroyer during this one. So yeah, I started playing my Viper. This is because I always debate on playing my Viper or not if I don't have like a hood to send over. But on the other hand, we always want to clear space in case we get set up in a place where we need like hand space, or if we're going to duplicate or whatever, you know what I mean? Because even if, let's say Moon Girl comes out, then I would duplicate, my Punisher. And then if I can get like a zero cost uh, She-Hulk on the last turn, then I could drop two Punishers. You know what I mean? All right, so here's Infinaut. We got armor. Oh yeah, this is where I realized I'm like, oh, I have an ongoing card. Onslaught Citadel. Boom. Let's do it. Oh, this makes sense now. I was wondering. I was like, dang, they got Infinaut out on like what turn? Yeah, they're about to drop an Infinaut. I'm like, how the heck did they do that? But Electro, and if Electro's ongoing, then do they get extra energy? Let me know down in the comments. So yeah, so they drop Infinaut, and now She-Hulk luckily comes out again. This is why I wanted to do a voice over these, because I lucked out with She-Hulk coming at the very end two times in a row. So yeah, so right now they're dropping Destroyer, and I believe this is another scenario where they snap me just completely confident in their scenario. All right, so now we have an Infinaut and a She-Hulk, and they just blew their highest cards. Oh, but watch this. This is a close one. Check out what they pull out. Something I was never expecting, but it still ends up working out. Spoiler alert: it still works out in our favor, so don't worry. There's a She-Hulk. Oh, Rocket. Rocket saves our butt. Because I was thinking about putting Rocket on the left, but I ended up putting a middle with She-Hulk. And check this out. This dude, so he snaps, we snap back, all right? And this guy drops do it. There it is. Drops a freaking Taskmaster. I was not expecting that. I don't think I've seen that. But yeah, who's like he was able to get an Infinaut out, then a Destroyer, then a Taskmaster. But yeah, as you can see, Rocket saved our behinds right there with that extra power. But yeah, that's how this works. They were expecting that all we had was an Infinaut, and we dapped each other. That was a good game. That was a good game. So yeah, there you have it. That is how this She-Hulk works, and it catches people off guard because they believe that you are just dropping an Infinaut and they're not prepared for it. But I don't know if this is going to work going into the new season, because people are going to start figuring out that if you skip a turn, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are only dropping an Infinaut. So we'll see. Like I said, I'm not sure what the counters are, so leave comments down below. Let me know how your experience has been. Let me know if this is the best deck that you've seen or used with She-Hulk. I've seen other variations. I still think this one's the best because you just have so many outs. Even without a Moon Girl, you can still drop a one cost She-Hulk at the very end, right? Or you get Magic but no Moon Girl, and you can still drop a zero cost She-Hulk with an Infinaut. Like, there's so many different outs with this deck. So this deck, by far the best. But yeah, make sure you stay tuned, because I'll be doing more deck breakdowns and stuff. I finally got some discards that I've been waiting for, like Hellcow and Dracula and Black Cat. I've been missing these. I still need Hela, still need her, but I think I can make something like this work. But I'm going to continue playing around with different decks, see what works, and yeah, as we gear up to the new season and we all try to climb to infinite together. All right. But anyways, Thanks so much for watching. Again, if you are new, make sure you subscribe, ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of this Marvel Snap content. I love this community that we're building, and we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I've done it before on a different channel, so we could do it again. Me and you, we're gonna do this. Share the video, get your friends, get other people in the Marvel Snap community to come on over and subscribe to the channel. All right, but anyways, thanks so much for watching. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.